Welcome to the Confessions of an IT Business Owner podcast, where we believe that healthy cash flow is critical for your IT business. Automation is paramount, and building trust with your clients by looking professional will help grow your business. I'm your host, Ryan Goodman, and today you'll learn about some profound struggles related to owning and growing a software business and how Mark Loveys from Datagate Innovations overcame them.
We see that the computers and phones have converged, and that this has created a massive opportunity for MSPs to become phone companies, and everybody needs phones, and it's a great recurring revenue, so they all want to do it. But hey, there's some obstacles. So the obstacles are complex billing and tax and compliance, and hey, we can solve that. And we're designed exactly for that niche, the MSPs doing telecom.
Here's the podcast with Mark. Hello, everybody. Ryan Goodman here with ConnectBooster, and I am blessed to be having a little bit of time out of Mark Loveys' day. He's the CEO of Datagate. Mark, welcome to the show, and thanks for being on, man.
Well, thank you, Ryan. Thank you for having me here. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we've been doing a lot of work together over the last few months, which has been great for our mutual partners. But today is all about you. And so to really kick things off, I want to get a couple of the basics out of the way. Can you give us a 30-second elevator pitch on your business? And then where can people find you online as well?
Right. Okay. So Datagate is a SaaS solution designed especially for MSPs for billing telecom services. We partner with all the software that MSPs like using, like ConnectWise Manage, like ConnectBooster, like QuickBooks, Xero. So we work with all those products. We like to avoid rekeying. So all our telecom invoices we generate go straight into those products without having to rekey anything. And we also work out all the taxes using the best tax engines for telecom taxes to make sure we keep you out of trouble with all the regulatory people. So we make life easy for telecom billing, and we're partners with some great companies, including ConnectBooster.
Well, I can attest to you making life easier for partners on that side of the house. We've had some great feedback from our partner base, sent a lot of business over to you, as well as I know you guys have been working on some really cool case study material talking through the benefits. So it's encouraging. Absolutely. And really great for the community.
Yeah. I mean, we heard the same thing, Ryan. We've heard nothing but good things about ConnectBooster. You were famous to us through our customers, all talking about this ConnectBooster, and we thought, who is this ConnectBooster? We have to look it up, you know. And then you and I, we met that day at ConnectWise at an event, and you had the booth next to ours, I think, and we caught up there, and we did what you do these days. We took a selfie and put it on social media, and I can say, great, I know Ryan, he's my good friend now. And,
yeah.
And then we agreed that day that we were going to make our products work better together, and we followed up and we did it. So
it's been great. You know, it's so funny are those connections you make when you talk long enough, because Greg on your team, we're based in Fargo, North Dakota, and he had a lot of experience with Great Plains Software, which was, originated in North Dakota. So it's funny how small the world becomes as you spend 5 minutes.
I've heard so much about Fargo. I really want to go there. It's like, it's legendary in my mind now. I just, and of course I've seen the movie, and I won't go into the movie because I know that's people in Fargo say, oh, the movie, But,
no, it's just like that. It's the same thing as the movie, man.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Now you don't want to come.
Yeah.
Mark, where can people find you guys online? Where can they find Datagate?
Okay. Well, our website is Datagate, DATAGATE-I.com. So cool. We're Datagate Innovation. That's where the I comes from. Datagate-I.com.
Nice.
And that's us. Or just Google Datagate.
Perfect. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit from intro and ask you a couple questions just on how did you get started, in the technology industry and in the software business? How did you land here today?
Well, I've always, I look back to my very youngest days. I've always loved building things, creating things. And I went through several phases in my life. I started off as a very young boy. I used to build go-karts and race up and down our street and creating all these different vehicles. Then I moved into music and started writing music, and I had a great time in the country I came from, New Zealand. I grew up in New Zealand, and for a while there we got fairly well known in the music industry, wrote some songs. We ended up being the support act for Dire Straits. So I had an awesome time.
No way. Wow.
I often think I was the sort of Forrest Gump of New Zealand music, because I got to meet a lot of the big stars when they came through. So
That's
don't
incredible.
get me started on that subject. I can talk for
You can
ages.
go forever.
Absolutely. And then I sort of moved into software, and it was sort of, I was a musician at the same time, playing music at night and writing software during the day. And I had lots of businesses that wanted me to write things for them, for all different types of software. And I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed taking technology and solving business problems. And I realized that was something I truly had a passion for. So over the last sort of 20 or so years, 20, 30 years, I've started up a number of companies in the software industry, all around financial software, and some of them were involved in the telecom industry. The companies were all sort of started in New Zealand, and they ended up growing, and they've been bought by other bigger companies. So many of them they're still going now.
Yeah.
And so Datagate is my newest one. Started 5 years ago, and it's all about billing for IT companies, or MSPs, managed service providers as we call them. And what's really the reason for me getting into Datagate is that I saw this opportunity where phones and computers have converged and become the same thing. And it's a very simple thing. Okay, a phone is a computer now, and a computer is a phone. So what that means is that two industries are converging, and that is creating all this new opportunity for the IT industry, because the MSPs are realizing that actually phone systems are just apps that sit on the same technology stack as all the rest of the IT that they're supplying. So it's a huge opportunity. It's a great recurring revenue for these businesses, but there are some obstacles to getting into it, and billing is part of it, and taxes is part of it as well. So that's the thing we've set about to solve. So yeah, I'm sorry, that's probably deep history, but really it's sort of evolved to the situation where I love solving that problem for MSPs.
No, and actually you rolled right into the next question for me, because it was being a vendor in the space. What are the challenges that you've seen specifically in billing, and you nailed it. So, you know, what are when you started uncovering that problem, you know, what was your internal process of making sure that you were hitting the mark for the partners? Because as developers and as entrepreneurs, I've been guilty of it, getting tunnel vision, on what I think needs to be done. Was there anything unique, or what was your approach to gather that information to hit the product right?
Well, as a CEO, I've always been one to like to sort of lead from the front. I like to be face to face with customers, talking to them directly, learning their language. So for us, it's been a constant learning process. We started off the business in New Zealand, and that explains why I've got the strange accent that you can hear.
I love it.
So in New Zealand, you know, we actually originally we were approached by a telecom company called Spark. It's the biggest telecom provider in New Zealand. They came to me and said, "Hey, we've got this problem. You know, we're selling our wholesale telecom services to all these IT companies, and they all love the idea of doing it. They've got big business plans, but when they get to billing it,
they don't know what to do.
They can't do it. They just can't do it. Yeah, and we don't know what to do, and we need a solution. And what can you do for us, Mark? You know, so that's sort of, you know, the start of Datagate, and so we started off with this New Zealand focus. And what I have learned over the years by hard lessons is that each country does things a little bit differently. So to start off with, we had this really steep growth spurt in New Zealand. We signed up all the big IT companies, all using our billing software. And then we started reaching the capacity of the market. You know, New Zealand's only got 5 million people. It's like a small state of America on its own as an individual country. And so then we looked to branch out, and we noticed in New Zealand that most of our customers were using ConnectWise. So my thought was, right, I must connect with ConnectWise and find out, you know, how we can expand into other similar customers overseas. So we went to IT Nation in Orlando, Florida in 2017. We
Okay.
actually hired a booth there. So we set up a booth saying we're Datagate, we do telecom billing. We'd already started working on integration to ConnectWise.
Yeah.
But the cool thing that happens, we're talking to MSPs there, where the people come across and say, "Oh, you do billing with ConnectWise on for telecom?" Yes. So we talked to them and very quickly learned that the big obstacle in the United States is the tax. The tax.
Right.
Every state, city, county, federal, they all have taxes on telecom, and so that looked like a challenge. That was like, whoa, how do we solve this one? And then we realized that actually the answer is to partner with companies that specialize in that. And
Absolutely.
so we partnered with, at the time, Walters Clore, CCH SureTax, and
Sure.
integrated their engine and away. So I've actually found over the years that as a CEO, being in front of your customer, learn their language, learn what their problems are. That's the most valuable thing you can do. And then you hear about all the problems, the issues, you'll know how to solve them.
Mm-hmm.
You'll know how to communicate with them.
Right.
And that's led to, I guess, getting us to where we are now, where we've, I think we're in a market now where people are recognizing we solved this problem. MSPs, from talking to them, we realized that yes, ConnectWise is a very, very popular solution. And through ConnectWise, we met other partners like ConnectBooster. It's also a very, very popular solution for the payment processing. And so, by talking with customers, we've learned our way around the market. And so really the challenges are opportunities, really. If you listen to your customer, and I know, Ryan, I recognize you're a great communicator too. And I think that really is the secret, the communication with your clients, and because they'll always tell you what the problems are, and every problem is an opportunity. When you've got a software company to solve these problems.
Well, I think that's great advice. I mean, and it sounds like it's not just going out to drive business. What I'm getting from it is like you care about improving the lives of the people that you're working with.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that is if you take that approach to life and business in general, everything else falls into line. Like if you're looking after your customers properly, your staff will appreciate it. They will see you as a CEO. They see that that's your attitude, that actually we're here to look after these customers.
Right.
Make sure that this is a good outcome for them when they sign up to your software, and so your staff get on board, and the customers recognize that you're really on their side, and I think everything else falls into line. The profitability of the business, everything else like that will flow if your customers and staff and everybody they fall into that vision. So it's extremely important.
Hey guys, Ryan Goodman here, president at ConnectBooster and your host for this fine podcast. We want to take a quick break from our episode and thank you for listening. We wouldn't do this if it weren't for you, so thank you for sticking with us on this adventure. We also want to thank Mark for joining us on today's episode. You can find out more about Mark and Datagate at datagate-i.com. Mark has given us a lot of fantastic information about his success with owning a software business, and there's a lot more coming after this break. If you want to learn more about Datagate and their services, give them a call, send an email, throw a carrier pigeon if you have to. They want to help you out. Before we get back to the episode, we want to let you know all of the ways that you can find us online, starting with ConnectBooster.com/podcast. That's where all our new episodes go up first. So if you want to listen right away, check out ConnectBooster.com/podcast and sign up for our podcast email list. Episodes are available on iTunes, Spotify, and Google as well. So subscribe to our channel or find us on your favorite podcast platform, and they'll let you know when new episodes are ready to listen to. If you want to connect with us or be a guest on the podcast, email us at podcast@connectbooster.com or send us a message on Facebook or Twitter, and we'll make sure to point you in the right direction. Lastly, if you like the podcast, tweet about it using the hashtag #ITConfessions. We don't pay to promote the show, so sharing the show is actually the best way to let us know how you like it. Thanks again for listening to the Confessions of an IT Business Owner. We'll get back to the podcast and talk to you soon. I'm going to change gears on you a little bit here.
Yeah.
You know, we talk inside of this channel about automation helps, you know, drive to the bottom line.
Yes.
That seems all the more critical in the market that you serve around telecom. You know, how critical is automation for the partners that you guys serve through your product?
Absolutely, Ryan. It's the telecom industry is all about lots and lots of high volume activity, and it's all being measured and rated and billed. So we record millions and millions and millions of transactions,
Right.
and it's just got to be to rate telephone calls. That's got to be automated. So we plug into the telecom environments, and we get all the information about all the usage activity, who's calling, all the calls that are being made, and then because it's an automated recurring service, there's going to be a bill generated every month, and as a MSP grows, more and more bills are being generated, and they may start off being able to do it manually, but manual tasks will ultimately drag the business down. Yeah. And so we're absolutely totally committed to integrating. We identify who our target market are, and that's the MSP market, and we say, what are the software products that are important to those MSPs? And we've really identified at this stage. We've got ConnectWise Manage, we've got ConnectBooster, we've got QuickBooks, we've got Xero is another one we work with, and we're looking at other products to add into the mix as well.
Great.
Obviously, tax engines for our telecom taxes, we work with them, and we also partner with tax compliance partners that can do all the filing of tax returns for our clients. So,
oh, nice.
So we want to solve all these problems. So when an MSP comes to us, we can solve the problems. We can say, here's an automated, integrated system. Everything works together. It's all proven. And look, we've got case studies of successful, happy customers that can testify that this all works. This all, the way it says it, we say it will work.
Yeah, we're always supposed to make it sound good no matter what. It's always best to have that customer verification, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Love that.
And look, what I really like, is when we get a customer. I mean, that's what I'm here for. My purpose in life. I love getting these testimonials from customers, and actually, I was just mentioning earlier on that we've just had a case study completed with Bob Bascom of Charleston Telecom.
Yeah. And
he's a great ConnectBooster. He was using ConnectBooster long before he was using Datagate, but so he recently added Datagate to his system. He's using ConnectBooster, ConnectWise Manage. He's using Datagate. He's using QuickBooks, and I think he was doing a lot of this manually before it all sort of got pieced together, but he's now using the full integrated solution, and his words are, and I've got it written down to make sure I get it accurate. This is now an automated billing machine that runs itself. He's saying it just runs, and it gets all the usage information. It generates all the invoices. It sends them all out. It fires them through to ConnectWise, and it fires them through to ConnectBooster, and ConnectBooster does its thing for collecting all the money coming in, sends out the follow-up. So it's this big automatic machine, and he's delighted with it. So we're very happy about that. And
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. We did a webinar a couple weeks ago, which was great. It was a lot of fun to do with you guys. There was a phrase that came out of that I absolutely love. Someone had said something like automation from call to cash. That's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Automation from call to cash. It was a great one-liner. I mean, just a great
that's right.
What does your partnership mean? Automation from call to cash.
That's right. Yeah. Because look, there's so many pieces that sometimes you can get all tied up in explaining exactly how it all works. I mean, we believe in diagrams. So whenever we're talking to clients, we show them a diagram, and it's got Datagate here talking to ConnectWise and ConnectBooster and QuickBooks, and it's all the information flows like this. But when you find a beautiful phrase like that just from call to cash, it sort of summarizes it up very elegantly, and it's a big automatic billing machine, as Bob says. It's a billing machine that just runs.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. So you had touched on there are a couple things in the works that you guys have been looking at in terms of integration. Anything new that you guys are working on that you can tell our listeners today, or are those all cards that need to be played close to the chest right now?
Yeah, well, I think what I can say is that we are working on numerous integrations to basically serve more and more of the MSP market. So we want to widen the net, offer more products, and so you're going to see new quoting products, PSA, professional service automation products. And so integration is what we're all about. We are really our team players. We love the phrase "stay in our lane." Our lane is the billing lane. We generate the bills, and we are looking at all the products that our target market, the MSPs, use. And we are surveying MSPs, and we always talk to them, and we so we've got numerous underway, and yeah, that's our general direction. It's integrating and partnering with other solutions.
So busy would be an understatement.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So this is an over-asked question. I will 100% admit it at this point, but the COVID pandemic, everyone's had a different take on it. Some it's been a bumper, some it's been a real nuisance and headache. How has that changed your business over the last few months?
Yeah, well, it's certainly, we've been very much monitoring what's happening with our MSPs. How can we help them more? And what we've actually been finding is that the MSP industry, the IT industry, has actually been quite busy with this COVID problem, because we've been in the mission of helping, or they've been helping their clients set up to work from home, and use the types of systems we're using now for doing video conferencing, and of course everything we do at Datagate is sort of video conferencing. I mean, we've got our offices in Jacksonville, Florida, and Vancouver, Canada, and Auckland, New Zealand, and now Sydney, Australia. And we sort of work together like one big team. So we're sort of quite used to this environment, and so what's happening now with COVID is really pushing the world more into that sort of space that we're working in. And so MSPs, I see are seeing that telecom is a really good industry to get into, because it's recurring revenue. People need their phone systems more than ever. They really need the unified communication systems, which we talk about, unified comms, which is where you have one phone number that follows you around everywhere you go. So it's your office phone number, but you can also run it from your cell phone, a voice over IP system. And that's now recognized as being essential. So it's keeping our MSPs really busy. We've got a very important job to do for the MSPs, and to provide these solutions to the world that really needs them now. I really feel for how it must have been in earlier times before the internet. If you ever had a pandemic like this, people would be isolated without the internet. I don't know how the world would function, but it's now, we're just moving into this digital age now, and COVID has really pushed it a lot faster. So really for us, it's a busy time, very, very busy, and we're here to support our MSPs. They're really busy. We understand that, and all the more need for integration.
Absolutely.
The last thing when guys are busy like that, people don't want to be having to spend their time rekeying invoices. They want to be out there serving their customers.
Absolutely. Great point. So I have a question that I love to ask everyone, and yours is going to be super interesting. I'm looking forward to it. In fact, after this podcast, you may get as many calls asking who your celebrity connections are versus business connect. I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested in your feedback on that. You really shed a little light into a cool part of your life early on. But here's the question: if you could talk to your younger self after seeing all that you've accomplished so far here in life, what would you say? What type of wisdom would you impart upon your younger self?
Excellent question. I would say be bold. Be confident in yourself and extend your boundaries. So I was originally born in Canada. My family moved to New Zealand. I grew up as a New Zealander from about the age of 4 years old. And I spent a lot of time in New Zealand, and in a small country. Just like in a small town, I guess, you can feel that that's your world, and but actually the world is a big place. And I got out into the world later in life, I guess in my 40s, and I discovered that wow, it's amazing, all the opportunities. I love going to the United States. I think it's such an amazing machine. It's got so many excellent things that go on, all the everything from NASA going to space, and you've got amazing things everywhere, but you've also got this big economic machine it's like no other, and I just love the way business works there. And I sort of think, wow, I should have got into this earlier. So I'm very much of the mindset that to always be challenging yourself to go further. And I've had a number of businesses that have that have started and they've gone really well, and I've sold them to other businesses who've taken them and made them even bigger. And now I'm really thinking, what can I do with this, with Datagate? Everything's really it's my challenge to and my team's challenge to make this as great as possible. So it's really what I would say is be bold and go out into the world, and there's so much opportunity, and I think particularly in the United States, North America, it's an amazing place. It's just so full of opportunity, and I think what I've learned with Datagate is the economy, especially in America, it's like this great big machine, and if you can be a very important cog in that machine, if you can find something that is your specialty that you do really well, that's the answer. So that the big machine needs that cog, that piece.
Love that.
And I mean that's really the strategy, that Datagate, and I dare to suggest that ConnectBooster is the same sort of thing, that really we become very important to a very important piece of this big machine, this big economic machine, so the telecom billing for us, we see that the computers and phones have converged, and that this has created a massive opportunity for MSPs to become phone companies, and everybody needs phones, and it's a great recurring revenue, so they all want to do it. But hey, there's some obstacles. So the obstacles are complex billing and tax and compliance, and hey, we can solve that, and we're designed exactly for that niche. The MSP is doing telecom. So
I love that.
If that's a long-winded answer.
No, it's a great answer. I mean, it's find the gap, solve the problem, be bold, and you are the person to go solve it. So go get it done and grab what's yours. I love that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Exactly. It is. Absolutely.
Well, Mark, this has been an absolute blast. I know you're a busy guy, so I really do appreciate you spending time with us and all of the information that you've given our listeners, and would love to do it. Would love to do it again, and also looking forward to our continued partnership. I mean, this has been a blast, and I look forward to the next time that we get to meet face to face as well. That'll be great to get
Likewise.
together.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Ryan. I really do appreciate. Really honored to be on this on the show with you, and thank you very much. It's great to work with you and your team as well.
You as well, my man.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud. Well, till next time.
Till next time. Thank you.